so frustrated because I feel like nobody listens. The person that prescribes me medication really upset me because I asked for something to help relieve my anxiety and my insomnia, and they prescribed me an antidepressant. And I researched the antidepressant, and I just don't understand, like, if I have issues throwing up because my stepdad did something disgusting, he sucked the snot out of my brother's nose with his mouth or something in front of me, and to this day, I throw up all the time because if I have any phlegm in the back of my throat, it reminds me of that disgusting day where I watched him do the nasty stuff when my brothers were, like, little and I was, like, 8 years old. So, I'm very upset because, whenever I go to a doctor or a therapist or a psychologist, they don't listen and they don't help. They just do the dumbest stuff. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Like, why prescribe me an antidepressant and instead of a sleeping pill and nausea medicine? Oh, well, take this antidepressant, fuck your brain up on drugs, and then it'll help your nausea and your sleeping. Wouldn't the sensible thing to do be to prescribe someone a nausea medicine or an anxiety medicine or a sleeping medicine? I mean, it's like if your car needs oil and then instead of putting oil in it, you just pour, like, piss inside the car. Like, that's not gonna get your car to run. Like, and then, like, there's this other issue where my mom sold me to someone, and when my grandma that's still alive, she's a fucking bitch, I tell her, like, hey, I don't want my dogs near my mom. I don't want my mom to have access to my puppies. Hold on. Come here, Tiny. Come here, baby. Let me show you. Let me show everybody to the camera. Come here. Come here. Come here. I have 2 dogs now. This is the new one, and this is the OG. And, I'm very upset because whenever like, for instance, I changed my name a long time ago to have healing and to have a name that made me feel beautiful because my old name just reminded me of a lot of somebody that I feel bad for and someone that's really just depressed all the time, and my old name reminded me of that part of my life when I was sexually abused by my stepdad and by my mom and just horrible, horrible things. So I changed my name over 6 years ago. And, basically, not a single person in my family calls me my new name. When my grandma says my old name, and I say, hey, that's not my name, then she just says, whatever your name is. And she calls me whatever your name is. And it's like I don't even exist. Like, my feelings are just invisible. And they don't matter. And it hurts because I can't tell you how many people, when they ask me what my name is and I tell them what my name is, the name that I chose for myself, that I legally changed in the court system, whoever posted that, I don't want to take trazodone. I'm not a huge fan of prescription drugs. I've been put on medication that's just not right for me, and it made me hallucinate very scary things. And, I don't know. They're so scared to give out what would actually help people, so they give out other stuff, and then it actually hurts people. pretty badly if they take the medication. Luckily, I researched the medication before I even thought about taking it. And I was like, oh hell no, I'm not taking this medicine. I know exactly how this would affect me. Because the other girl who had an adverse effect, that's the same exact crap that happened to me when I took all the other medications that they prescribed me 6 years ago. Anyway, can you not bite my foot, please? I know you're teething, but you can't bite my foot. So, I'm angry because my therapist was like saying like, oh, your mom and your grandma are never going to change. Like, it's time to focus on you. We need to just not talk about them anymore and move on. And it's like, I need to bring those CUNTs in here, and I need to yell at them, and they need to know what they did is unacceptable and evil, and the type of shit that would send you to hell when you pass on. Like, I need to sit down and have those conversations. Otherwise, the therapist wants to not talk about the bad stuff anymore, but, like, for me, it's like, I'm not ready to just forget everything. I can't. It doesn't work like that. The pain is still here. I'm still dealing with these fucking narcissistic people. And my therapist thinks like, oh, we'll just have you talk to this behavior specialist. And she didn't even show any emotion when I told her when I broke down and said my mom sold me to somebody, dropped me off and sold me for cheaper rent, made me have sex with someone. The behavior specialist didn't even have any crying or any emotions towards that. Didn't say anything. Just told me to take a deep breath to get me to stop crying. I need someone to help me through this by grieving with me, because it's not like just choosing to be happy doesn't fix this. I am a happy person, but there's a lot of bad shit that happened, and I need people to acknowledge what they did, and I need people to be held accountable. I want to just fuck everything off and just quit going to all my appointments, because I don't have faith in our country and in the system that they provide for people. First of all, they don't listen to people. They don't listen to you. Why prescribe somebody an antidepressant that's used to treat bipolar when they're having severe anxiety and insomnia because they're being verbally abused? Like, wouldn't you want to give them something that would help them calm down and feel not stuck in fight or flight? Like, I know Xanax is a highly sought after anti-anxiety medication, and it's really sad because I know someone who has a prescription, and it's easier for me to go get what I need off the street than it is for a doctor to hear me, see me, and help me. And I'm so sick of this life. I'm so sick of fucking half-ass people. I'm so sick of people that choose to yell instead of communicate in a respectful way. I'm just so sick of my family. I'm very upset. I've been, like, not doing well for the last year. I dated this guy, and he yells all the time. And, the yelling prevented me from being able to fall in love with him. And he flips out over little things all the time. And I left him and I moved in with my family. And he doesn't want me to give up on the relationship. He wants to go to therapy and work through things. And I'm upset because it's like I've been in therapy by myself, trying to deal with not even my relationship issues a whole lot, but more so my family issues. And the last appointment I had really drained all of my hope and all of the relief that I was getting from the actual therapy. Because I feel like my therapist doesn't want to hear about the sad stuff. She wants to just focus on me and the business I'm making and the skincare products and my happiness. And it's like, dude, like, there's a lot of shit that needs to get dealt with. I'm not there yet, even though you don't want to hear the sad shit anymore. Like, I still need to get it all out and like grieve it. But I'm not allowed to because my family, you just have to kill your emotions because it's never the right time to talk about it. So, came home from therapy one day, and my piece of shit mother, who my grandmother knows sold my body to somebody 5 years ago, my piece of shit mother is sitting in the living room, holding my baby puppy, cooing over it, feeling serotonin release, dopamine release, and feeling joy from holding the baby puppy. I come home from therapy, I see Lynette's disgusting ass in the living room, in the kitchen, holding the dog, because Joyce, my grandmother, her mother, lets her come over here, and it's just like, I every time my mom comes over here, I just scream at her to get her to leave, because I don't want her here. And if my grandmother had a drop of respect for me, she would be like, you know what, Lynette? You did some really horrible shit to your daughter, and I can't have you around her because you've hurt her so much that she doesn't want you in her life. So while she's living here, I would appreciate it if you would just stay the fuck away. Like, but no, my mom, because she's like a full-blown alcoholic, narcissistic retard, she comes over here, and there's been occasions where I would like scream at her, and then instead of her leaving, she will like stay the night just to try to irk me. And that's really disrespectful because I'm her only daughter, and she fucked up our relationship by selling me to someone. She fucked up my relationship with her way before that, like a decade before that, for not being there for me emotionally and not giving a fuck about my feelings. But aside from that, recently, my ex-boyfriend or boyfriend, whatever we're gonna call him, we like I don't know, I had had enough. I left him, I broke up with him, I ended it, and then he was like, oh, I had told you and told your mom that he had told me, and I had told my mom that he was gonna do her bathroom tiles for free. So after we got back from a horrible trip to New York, he came down here to go do her tiles for free, and I had like went to accompany him because he asked me to. So then we were doing the tiles, and then he was like, in my opinion, verbally abusing me in the bathroom, saying some very negative, hurtful things in a abusive tone of voice, excuse me. And so I got pissed off and left. Well, he left too. And he went and stayed in the town nearby because he ran into his uncle. So he came back the next day to go finish the job for my mom, because I texted him like, hey, that's kind of fucked up to leave her toilet not attached when you could have just not did the bathroom and that she'd be able to use her toilet. Well, anyway, he was like, okay. He goes back to her house to finish attaching the toilet, and she told, like, my mom tried to take my man. She was like, oh, my daughter's too immature, I'm a better option for you, is what my mom said to him. She told him like 100 times, like, oh, well, she really loves her dog, so it's just not gonna work out because you're not an animal person, and she really loves her dog, and you hate animals, so you just not a good she's just not a good option for you. But then my mom said, but I'm a good option for you because I know how to handle a real man. And my mom was just like telling him things that she said she'd never told anybody before, and all this shit. So I was like, wow. Because he told me 2 days later. He was like, I gotta tell you something. Like, you're, like, he like, didn't, he knew it was gonna create more problems. But, rewind to a year prior at his house, I told him, I said, oh, I was joking and being serious at the same time, which is funny, because most people don't have to do that. But I said, oh God, if you ever meet my mom, I feel like she's the kind of person that would try to take you from me. And so when she did these things, the first thing he thought of was, wow, Eden literally warned me about this a year ago, and she's been texting him, oh, where'd you get, so he bought me a puppy, and my mom was like, oh, texted him, where'd you get the dog? I really want one, blah, 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 blah. And then uh, she's not talking to me now ever since you opened your big mouth. Like, hold the front door for me. I'm trying so hard not to swear so I can stay monetized. Hold the front door. Holy forklift. How in the freaking heck am I not talking to her because first of all, it's because she hit on him and him and I were dating. Like, him and I had sex. Why would my mom go after somebody that I've been with? That's disgusting. Second of all, I've hated her since I was 9 years old. She and I have never been cool. Just because I talk sensible to someone without screaming at them once in a while does not mean I don't fucking hate them. I mean, effing dislike them. No, hate. I actually hate almost everybody in my life I hate. Which is fine, because I am so freaking happy by myself. My dogs, my giant cage of birds back there, like, they are the best little angels that God created, and I have no lack of love and support from my animals. But my family has no fucking common sense or respect, so for her to think that I'm not talking to her, Keisha, I ran into your mom at my job the other day, and I miss you so much. I heard you moved to Arizona, and your son is 6 years old now. Sorry, guys, my friend that I personally know just commented. Keisha, I miss you so bad, girl. I miss you so bad. I ran into your mom, and I was like, I know you from somewhere. Who are you? And she said, oh, you probably know my daughter. So anyway, I come home to the house after therapy one day. My mom's holding my new baby puppy that my boyfriend got me. And I just take the dog from her. And I looked at my grandma and was like, what? How the fuck can you do this? How can you... Like, this bitch sold me to someone. Dropped me off. I had no car. I had no money. I just started working at Marshall's and fucking sold me to somebody. My own mother pimped me out. And I didn't have a say. And my grandma was like, oh, well, you could have said no. Bitch, I couldn't say no. There was no fucking option. When the narcissistic, evil mother, like the witch off of Cinderella, the stepmom, that's like who my mom is. So, first of all, if I could have said no, I would have. I was fucking forced into a situation, but I guess it didn't occur to my grandma that my mom is actually a cunt. Anyway, okay, I'm losing my monetization for this video. Fuck it. I'm just gonna swear. So, like, my grandma is like, hey, leave your door unlocked when you leave so I can go hold the puppy. And I said, Grandma, I can't do that because when I come home and you let Lynette hold my dogs, it makes me angry because she sold me to a fucking landlord. My grandma just throws her hands up and just shushes me because she doesn't want my fucking grandpa to wake up. And it's like, oh, so Richard's stupid fucking ass is more important than the firstborn granddaughter's feelings, because if my feelings mattered, Joyce would say, your mom's a piece of shit. I'm done supporting her. I don't want anything to do with her. How dare her do that to you? Hug me, pray with me, cry with me. Not a single person in my fucking family has put their hands together and fell to their fucking knees and said, you know what, I'm gonna pray for you because God cares about you and I want you to know his love. Not a single person is like, you know what? Let's just be there for each other. Not a single fucking person. But it's okay because I don't need them. And I'm gonna move into my own place when I can afford it. And I am that person. A lady came into my job and was like, Father's Day, and she said that, like, this is the first Father's Day without her husband, and it's really hard on her kids and everybody. And I just listened to her, and then I said, "Can I pray for you?" And I held my hands, and I got really close to her, and I just prayed. And we both cried, and it was just a beautiful moment because people need each other. Like, we actually fucking need each other, and it's so sad when people just choose to turn their head the other way and ignore what the fuck is going on. It's really upsetting. It's very, very, very upsetting, because, like, it just deserves so much better, but I am part of a really toxic family, and they're never gonna be there for me the way that God is, and I just have to cling to the Lord because I'm so much better off alone, and I'm so much better off, like, without subjecting myself to hearing the half-ass responses that narcissists give you. Like, my mom like slipped and fell in the hallway area from the door entrance to the side entrance to the hallway, and she, like, slipped and fell and, like, cut her fucking arm open, like, really bad. And I, like, did not give any fucks. I didn't get up to go help her. I didn't get up to go check on her. I did not have any compassion or empathy to give her, and I am the type of person that, like, will cry during a diabetes commercial because I'm an empath. So it's like, you know what, Lynette? Like, you cannot just, like, hurt your child and sell them to someone and then think for 1 second that when they're an adult that they're gonna, like, respect you and provide you with emotions that you don't provide them with. That's just so insane for them to expect me to be present and give a fuck. And it's sad because this lady that I used to teach Sunday school with, who's, like, my best friend at church, her name's Libby. She's like an angel. She sings so beautiful. It's unreal. I love sitting next to her and hearing her sing. Well, she, like, said, I told her everything. I was, like, at church one day, and I was like, "Can I talk to you? Because obviously I can't talk to my grandma. I wish I could just stop crying, but there's just so much pain. I just can't." Anyway, I told her everything, and she was, like, telling me, like, she was like, "Wow, I can't believe all of this has happened because, when you were born, you were, like, this beacon of light for your family, and everybody was just so happy because of your birth, and it's really, like, devastating that you would grow up and they would treat you like this." And, I'm doing a lot of good things for myself right now. I'm really, really disappointed in the mental health place. I'm really disappointed in my therapist. I'm really disappointed in my ex, and I'm really disappointed in my family. And I feel completely alone. And it's so peaceful. And I just can't wait to completely, like, physically be by myself. And, I know that one day, before God, like, when my grandma and my mom pass away, God is gonna show them the story of their life, because your life is a movie, and everything that is happening in your life is recorded. Like, God is recording it. Like, literally, like, your eyes are like cameras recording, your whole life. And basically, like, God sees everything. And so, like, one fucking day, they will pass away. And they will sit in the mercy seat, and they will watch the story of their life But when you watch it, you watch it through the eyes of everybody else, and you see how you treated them and how they felt. And it's like, only then will I be understood. Only then will my pain be acknowledged. Only then will they actually, because it's like so hard to feel what other people are going through. Like, if you're going through something and I haven't been through it, like, I literally cannot imagine. Like, I am not capable of fathoming the understanding of whatever it is that you're going through is like. Because if I haven't gone through it, then I'm just ignorant and I am unaware. I don't know. I can't feel it. I'm just not aware. But if you've gone through it, or if you're an empath and you can feel other people's pain, it's like, fuck, dude, it affects the way you think, it affects the way you treat people, because you don't want to make other people feel the way that other people have made you feel. You don't want to bring that dismay to others. Like, you go about your life being careful. And, it's just losing my train of thought because I have a lot of issues and I disassociate all the time. So anyway, yeah, I was happier away from Lynette. That's right. Peyton just commented. I basically like got into a relationship and I couldn't handle it, and so I had to come up here to my family's town. And when I came up here, my mom wasn't here yet. She had not moved up here. So I was actually staying at her place for a little while. And then when she decided to randomly move up here, I was like fighting with her at her house. And then I moved out of her house and came to my grandma's house. So I'm at my grandma's house right now. And honestly, like, I don't, part of me feels like the more fucked up that they treat me, the, like, less I'm gonna cry at their funerals. Like, I don't know, I just try to imagine, like, wow, like, am I gonna be sad when these people go, or am I gonna be like, like, part of the abuse is gone now, you know? It's just hard. It's so hard. And it's so funny because my mom actually thinks, in her stupid mind, she actually thinks that, like, I'm not talking to her because my boyfriend told me what she did when she was hitting on him. And it's like, dude, like, we've never been cool. Like, me and my mom have never been on good terms. And she's so stupid to think that if I talk to her sensible for, like, 2 minutes, that means that her and I are on good terms. Like, bitch, your whole life is a joke if that's how you equate things. Because it's like, for instance, like, let's pretend like somebody got raped in my family. Oh, we'll just pick me because doctors raped me in Ohio and my fucking hands and feet were tied to the edge, tied down, and when I woke up with them 4 doctors raping me with an object. So to this day I have, like, a lot of issues, but another doctor will just look at me and say, oh, well, you're just paranoid. No, actually, I know what doctors are capable of. Maybe you're not aware that some people are pure fucking evil. Anyway, moving on. I don't trust, like, any type of facility where they get paid to provide services, because a lot of people are fucking evil on the inside and they'll grope you or touch you or rape you with and just drug you up because they don't actually want to be held accountable for whatever it is they're doing. So they think that you just won't know. But, like, my body woke up while it was happening, despite the drugs they tried to drug me with, because my soul was, like, fucking angry that these people who are supposed to be helping people are fucking raping people. It's just not okay. Not okay. So, anyway, I think I might just cancel all my appointments and tell everyone to fuck right off. Because why go sit in front of some fucking lady on the computer and then talk to her for 10 minutes and then have her put me on some type of bipolar medication that they give people that's an antidepressant, when I'm not. First of all, the depression I have is healthy. I shouldn't be happy about my family. Like, there should be underlying depression because of the actions that they've chose to do. So for me, it's like, I can fucking live with my depression. I actually take 5-HTP for my depression. It's a mood stabilizer. What it is like, you have these little fingers in your brain, and they like create the dopamine for your serotonin receptors, so it like this like feeds them so they can just create more happiness. It's like the healthiest way to get relief from long-term sadness caused by half-ass shitty parents that don't give a fuck about you. Because it's like, no pill that a doctor can prescribe me is gonna make my mom's past actions change. Like, and I don't need to be zombied out on an antidepressant to understand all of this shit. Like, I've already done like 3 antidepressants in my life, maybe 4, and I'm not interested in withdrawing off of a pill. Like, fuck. If I'm gonna take a medication and I'm gonna withdraw from it eventually, if I'm gonna take a medication every day, which I wouldn't do that, because I don't like withdrawing, but like, why the fuck would I put an antidepressant in my body and take it every day when it doesn't even make me feel good? Like, why can't they give me something like Xanax or Seroquel or something that would actually, like, cause me to feel less distress? Why can't they just give me something that would help me? Why do we have to be dicked around on this fucking merry-go-round of pill fucking search and find? Like, I would love to watch my psychologist take the pills that she prescribes and then realize, like, oh, fuck, this is actually a really shitty drug. I probably shouldn't prescribe to people, because, like, this pill would probably not help barely anybody. I don't know. Then, my therapist at the same facility is like, oh, I'm gonna bring in this new lady, and you're gonna go to her one week and meet it the other week. I don't want to go to a new bitch. I want to stay with the person I'm with. I want to stay with the therapist I'm with. I already told her everything. I don't want to repeat my shit to a new bitch. I don't want to. I want the fucking person I have now to give a fuck and to keep letting me pour out what I need to get off my chest. And I'd like her to confront the people with me, because obviously my mom and my grandma need to have their asses chewed out. And they're not gonna respond to me in a normal day situation because they don't have the fucking mental capacity to take responsibility for their shit. So I'd have to drag them to a therapy session and have a therapist around to hold them accountable so they could fucking feel a little bit of the ramifications of what the fuck they've done. I also have to get my ex to go to therapy with me, which is very, very angry for me because he fucked everything up. I'm thinking about trying to find a different one in the nearest town. Another thing that I thought was really fucked up is my hair is so messy, I need to take a shower before work. I go to this clothing bank where you can, like, buy a dress for 10 cents, or a pair of jeans, or a bra, or whatever the hell you find there. And I got some cute dresses, but anyway, aside from that, there was a lady who was there, and she was telling a story to someone else, and I heard everything. And she said, like, oh, I went to my doctor appointment, and I went in there, like, really chipper and happy, and they, like, tried to get me to sign this form to admit me to a psych ward because, like, I guess you can't go into an appointment too happy, or they want to put you in a facility and make you take drugs and tell you you're crazy, which is, like, absolutely outrageous, because it's like, if they're gonna do that to someone that's, like, chipper one day, like, what is the point of prescribing antidepressants then? Do they actually want everyone to just be a zombie and not be happy and not be sad and not be nothing? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why would... So anyway, I'm seriously thinking about canceling my appointment at the family clinic, because it's like, why go somewhere where you can't even just be upfront, hey, I'm having a trouble with this, I need an inhaler, or whatever the hell, and then them, like, provide you with what you need. Like, they have to go about it in a, like, I've noticed that doctors and nurses have this really vindictive attitude, like, I'm only gonna give it to you if I'm ready to give it to you. Like, I'm gonna ignore the fact that you've been suffering your whole life and could probably really use an anti-anxiety medication or a sleeping pill or a nausea pill, for fuck's sake. But no, I'm the doctor, so I can't take advice from my patients. I have to come up with everything on my own. It's like it has to be their idea. type of person. Like, oh, don't tell dad, but bring it up in a way where he thinks it's his idea, and then we can go to the water park. Like, who the fuck medicates people off of, like, that type of ego? Like, that's so satanic and un-Christ-like to not provide people with what the fuck could help them. I don't know. I have to take like 3 of these Walmart 50 milligram sleeping gels, and it's just, they don't always, I can power through it, just stay awake still. I definitely I was diagnosed with PTSD, and there's a lot of symptoms from that I think that my psychologist and my therapist are just completely ignoring. And I honestly think that the psychologist, I talked to her for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. I feel like the person who I'm in therapy with should be the person prescribing drugs to me, because my therapist actually, like, knows everything. The fucking psychologist didn't have the time to get to know me and to know everything that I'm suffering from. She just got like a 10-minute stressed out little nervous talk from me because I didn't really feel comfortable with her, because I would rather have my therapist prescribe me medication since I've been talking to her for weeks. It just makes no sense to me. Like, oh, I don't know you at all, but I'm going to give you drugs. And just try these drugs for 4 weeks. Well, I went back 2 weeks in, and the drugs make me not okay, and I don't like it. Oh, well, you know what? Keep taking them for another 2 weeks to see if they work. I'm not taking those fucking pills for 1 fucking day, because I've researched and watched other people's videos about how they felt when they took it. And I'm not willing to sacrifice 4 weeks of my stable mental health, the way it is, to try a drug that could actually hinder me and make me, I don't know, fall asleep in the middle of a conversation with my boss, not wake up for work, miss appointments, not the right kind of medication. I can't take a drug that's gonna zonk me out like that. I need something that I don't have to take every day, and I need something that will pull me out of my fight or flight that I get stuck in. And honestly, I was prescribed Xanax when I was a child, when I was about 8 years old or 9 years old, when my grandfather passed away, and that medication actually helped me. But instead of having a psychologist help me, I'll just go get shit off the street, because in today's society, if you want to go to a doctor and get something, they want to pressure you with a bunch of vaccines and other shit instead of actually hearing what you're there for. Because I would tell you right now, Dr. Morse says that a lot of people, which he's reversed a lot of cancer and stuff like that. Anyway, Dr. Morse says that when people go in to get colonoscopies, it actually does a lot more damage than good. And if you are going to get a colonoscopy, you should only get one if there are certain criteria that you're meeting. Like, I don't know, if you're having a lot of colon cancer symptoms or whatever the fuck, like, a lot of colonoscopies actually give more harm to the body over time than they do good. But your average doctor will just sign you up for that shit because their mortgage gets paid when they have their appointments filled and their medications prescribed. They get a check in the mail for that. They get paid for that. So of course they want you to buy their services. But I tell you right now, doctors would get a lot more customers if they would listen to them and actually help them, instead of just trying to act like they know everything and that you have to listen to them. It's so stupid. So stupid. So I'm fucking pissed. I feel like my therapy was helping, and now it's just not gonna work anymore because these people want me to just move on and be happy. But it's like, you guys haven't even called out my family yet. Like, no one's being held accountable. That would give me a little bit of closure. Just enough. So instead of listening to my therapist, I left her a voicemail and I said, hey, I'm not meeting with the new bitch. I'm not interested. I don't have the energy to work with someone that I have to repeat everything to, and she don't want to hear it. She doesn't want to hear the past. She wants to focus on happiness and me right now and all that shit. But guess what? I'm not happy right now, so we're not there yet, motherfucker. I'm not there yet in my healing process. Like, why am I being rushed? Like, what the fuck is wrong with our system and our world? Like, I don't know, I think that, like, I need to be by myself, and I need to just not go to any appointments, and just deal with God. Just have God be the only one that is able to access me. Just go to work, pray, deal with my animals, and just not have any more appointments. Because, like, these people are not gonna fucking help me. Like, I tell you right now, the fucking psychologist is just gonna have me try, like, 18 more antidepressants off the list of 40. And I have a really bad history with SSRIs, or whatever they're called. I have a really bad history of, like, wanting to kill myself when I'm on them, which is not, like, wanting to kill myself, it's more of, like, when I take them, I feel no emotion, and then when I'm under that spell of no feeling from the medications, then I feel like if I jumped out the window and died, like, it doesn't matter, because my life is just, like, a joke. Like, that's how SSRIs make me feel. It's, like, suicidal, but it's, like, not traditional suicidal. It's like a different dialect of suicidal, because it's a side effect of a fucking drug that I shouldn't be prescribed, when I've tried SSRIs in the fucking past, and on one of them, I tried to drown myself in the bathtub, and my ex was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was banging my head against the inside of the tub, saying, "I don't want to be Haley effing Hoven," because I wasn't happy with the treatment, because it wasn't helping. Being put on lithium and antidepressant didn't fucking make me any better. It made me fucking almost kill myself. So, the fact that, like, I'm, like, even partaking in this, like, mental health shit system, it's a shit system. It's not, like, provided for our greatness. They actually don't help a lot of people. I think they make people's lives worse. And so I think I should just quit while I'm ahead. Because there's no point in continuing to put myself through all this shit when these people are not, they haven't gone through what I've gone through. So for them to be like, "Oh, we think this," it's like, why can't you be my therapist and let me guide you while I take the steps through the process? Why do you have to be the one dictating things when it's literally about me? Like, I don't know, I feel like she's, like, shoving me into someone else's seat, and I don't want to keep telling my story to medical professionals anymore. Like, I just want someone to hear me, help me, and let me be, and not keep, like, I hate that I, like, have to be like, "Oh, this medication isn't working for me," even though I didn't pop any of the pills they gave me, because I'm not doing that to myself. I'm not taking the fucking antidepressant. If I took the antidepressant, I would have, like, not been able to work my job, and I just started my job. So, anyway, I really, really look forward to, like, when I talked about the mercy seat, and, like, in the afterlife, when, like, you sit there, you watch the story of your life, and then God judges you, and then, well, you judge yourself too. And then it's like, there's, like, millions of angels watching the screen, which is the story of your life. And, like, the one thing that I look forward to is that, like, after that, like, like, when God sees somebody that had a really bad life, He takes everything away out of your soul that is bad. Like, He removes all of the damage and the pain. Like, God makes you brand new again when you're on the other side, if you deserve it. I can't tell you how excited I am for that. Like, I always knew that I am not of this world. I am not part of I don't belong to my family. I am different. I've always been different than everybody. And, like, I remember when I was 5 years old, I went to church with my mom, and then we came home, and I was in my bedroom, and I was standing there, and I had this overwhelming sense that, like, I was chosen, like Jesus. Like, I felt chosen. Like, I felt like I was chosen by God to be here, and I was brought here for, like, great, great things. And I've had some very evil people tried to bring me down. My own family, even. And, it's just crazy. Like, so much biblical stuff has happened in my family that, like, for instance, there was a sermon the other day where the pastor, which it was a female pastor who doesn't normally preach at my church, but she was filling in for my pastor. And she had a sermon about how something happened and something happened somewhere, and then in the Bible, and then like at the oh yeah, some demons were like cast out of the swine, and the swine drowned themselves because the swine would rather be dead than be demon possessed. And she was like saying that, like, I can't remember if it was Christ or if it was a different Bible character. They were like telling people, and then instead of people being like amazed with what Jesus did, they were like scared, and they were like scared of everything. And it was like, how do you not see the miracle? Like, how do you, you know? And so for me, I was thinking back, I told the pastor, I was like, wow, your sermon like touched me, because when I got a blessing years ago from the Taoist Master Sha's Soul Healing Center, I was told by a doctor, like, oh, you need a hysterectomy, you have endometriosis, and I was like, I don't want a hysterectomy. And so I got this healing. I was in severe pain for like years. Then I got the blessing instead of the hysterectomy, and my endometriosis has been gone ever since. And God healed me through her. Like, God used her as a divine channel to heal me. And I was so elated that the pain was gone, that the blessing worked. The blessing took an hour, and it was like a very like Harry Potter type of shit. Like, she was doing the blessing, and I felt like stuff pouring out of my hands, like hot energy, and my hands were like this. I had to move them away from each other because they were burning, like fucking firing. Then I felt the same thing pouring out of the middle of my foot. Then I was sitting in a chair, and I told her, like, I'm gonna throw up. I have to lay down. I cannot be in this chair. And so I laid down. She's continuing to say the sacred blessing. I felt inside my body, everything was swirling in like a tornado. And then after the hour-long blessing, for me it felt like 10 minutes. She apparently did like an hour and 20 minutes. When she hit the stick on the ground and commanded the closure of the blessing of the summoning of the Lord and everything, basically, like, when she hit the stick on the ground, my body was like levitating a little bit, and I like hit the ground too, and I didn't even know that I was levitating a little bit off the floor that I was laying on. And the whole reason I was in the chair from the beginning is because the other room that had the bed, there was like termite problems, so they weren't using that room, and we had to like improvise. So ever since that day, like before I left, she was like, oh, you have to cover your crown, like, you're wide open, demons can just attach to you. So I put the scarf on, and then basically I called my grandma when I was on my way to BART, on my way home, because this was on California Street in San Francisco, where Master Sha's Soul Healing Center is. Anyway, I called my grandma, and I was like, Grandma, my endometriosis is gone. Like, I'm free of the pain. Like, I've been healed. Like, a healer healed me. I got blessed. Like, this is amazing. I was telling her about it. She was like, did you join a cult? She didn't celebrate with me. She didn't praise God. She didn't have faith in the Lord. Like, my faith is so effing strong that I've had a cyst before, like a lump here, and I commanded the Lord to heal me, and the next day when I woke up, it was gone. Like, that's how fucking strong my faith is, because I am not playing games. I don't need to have faith and believe in God, because I know that God is real. And I know God catches every tear that we cry. Like, I even seen God before. God held me. God took over my ex's body when I was fucking coming down off of fucking lithium 6 years ago because some stupid doctor just diagnosed me with a bunch of shit that wasn't correct and put me on a bunch of meds. So when I fucking came down off of those drugs, I was sitting on the couch shaking, petrified, because I believed I was gonna die from the withdrawal. My ex, I was sitting on his lap. His name was Sean. I was sitting on his lap. He was holding me like a baby. Like, I was literally sitting, like, my head was here, I was sitting, my legs were here, my ass was here. Like, I was sitting on his lap like a baby. And I was shaking, I was petrified, I thought I was gonna die. And I looked at him, and his face started to swirl, and his whole body started to swirl like a Harry Potter movie. And then God was sitting there holding me, and God just looked like a way older version of Jesus. And God told me, he said to me as he helped me, he said, everything is gonna be okay. And then he swirled back into Sean, and my ex was holding me again. And I know God is real, and he revealed himself to me. And one thing at the last Bible study that I went to, the pastor said, like, oh, God doesn't reveal himself to us because the Ephesianites or whoever, like, in the Bible or whatever it said, they said, like, oh, well, if you look at God in the eye, you'll turn to stone or you'll die. That is not true. God reveals himself to the children that he chose when he needs to. And I needed him, and he was there for me. And I don't tell anybody the story because I don't want to be looked at as crazy or not I don't want to be judged. But God is so magical, and he's beyond time, and he's beyond space, and he's everywhere at once. And I'm so grateful that he's able to hold me as I walk through the fucking valley of the shadow of death. It's just like, fuck, sometimes I just wonder, like, why did you put me here? Like, why did you put me in this family? I don't want to be a part of this, but it's okay because I'm despite do you hear my birds? I can't even talk because they're so loud. One of them laid eggs, so there's gonna be maybe 2 babies, maybe. She's been sitting on the eggs in the nesting box for days, and she's so grumpy. So, yeah, I don't know, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm just having a fucking horrible day. I'm very upset with my family and my therapist and the mental health place and everything. And, I have to go get ready for work now. So, this is Mama's baby. This is Sir Charles. Huh. Are you Kingston's baby brother? Are you Kingston's baby brother? Are you sleepy? Are you sleepy, Bobby? Are you sleepy too, Kingston? Shanae asked, have you ever thought about finding a new therapist who will listen? My current therapist does listen, but I think she just, like, undermined me by, like, just making too many changes way too abruptly when I'm, like, in the beginning of my therapy. Like, I've only gone to, like, maybe 3, maybe 4 sessions. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I just need to keep searching for, if it doesn't work, just try a different one. It's so exhausting, though, because I can only repeat myself so many times to so many therapists before I want to fucking snap, because it's, like, not, I don't know, it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't really help after a while. Because I need them to be there for me. I don't need them to tell me, like, what to think about, what to focus on. Like, if I'm trying to deal with some old trauma, then, like, let's try to deal with it. Let's not just tell me to focus on being happy and blah, 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 blah. Like, if I need to cry, I need to cry. It's pent-up energy that's been sitting in there for over 20 years, probably, because my mom wouldn't let me have my emotions. instead of being able to cry and feel my pain, she would just say, like, be quiet, or go play with your toys, or whatever, and it was just, everything was just swept under the rug, and head turned the other way, cheek turned the other way, ignore it. And that's how her mom is. And it's like the dumbest, most unevolved, half-ass emotional way to behave. As a fucking 70-year-old woman, you should have a little bit more wisdom. I mean, anyway, I'm just so exhausted. I need to get my own place, and once I live by myself again, I will be fucking balanced. I'll be a lot happier because I'll have a lot less narcissists around to hurt my feelings. But anyway, I love you guys, and remember to love each other, and I'm getting my, so I'll be able to, like, start posting vlogs. I know it's been, like, quite a few years since I've sat down and edited a video. Been really struggling, like, the last year's been, like, I thought 2019 was my 2020. Like, 2019 was, like, one of the worst years of my life. And then, like, 2020 was pretty fucked. 2022 is... Are we in 2022 right now, or 2023? Sorry, I get... I think we're in... No, 2022. Like, 2020, 2019, 2020, 2021... And now 2022 is, like, officially been the worst year of my life. Because it's like, I turned 30. My family didn't even treat me like a person that has having a birthday or existed. Nobody said happy birthday to me. I'm mad at my ex because he called me a moron on my birthday when he drove out to go with somewhere with me. And there was a whole lot of fighting and everything. And so... Then I find out that my mom would fuck him behind my back if she could. And it's like, wow, you turned 30. I thought it was going to go a little bit more smoother than that. But here I am, 30 years old, and my mom would rob and... Like, it's like that, hide your kids, hide your wife. Like, hide your soul, hide your man. Lynette will snatch it if she can. That rhyme, I did not mean for that to rhyme. Oh my gosh. Anyway, my grandma was a real CUNT, so I took the painting back that I made her. And I think it's fucking gorgeous. It's called Mystic Falls, I think. And then this is a ocean painting that I made. And then this is the dove from the ark that they sent out that got the olive branch. You can't really see the branch in his mouth too well. But I love painting. And this, I made that after I had a miscarriage. It was mom breastfeeding. I love painting, and there's a gallery in town where I'm gonna sell my art in eventually. If my uncle would put the wire on the back of the paintings for me, then I can go down and become a, whatever it's called, artist. And I started a Christian skincare line. Angel Glow Skincare 7 is the Instagram page if you'd like to follow. And I got my business cards, and I've been making products, and I'm doing really well for myself, despite the like I always thought that, like, if Satan can't get to you, he sends a narcissist to try to put you through hell to get to you. And obviously like I don't even need to believe in God because I know God. And he is my father, and I believe that he has a wife in heaven, and I believe that I have a heavenly mother too. That's not Lynette. And that's where I take pride, and that's where I that's where I value where I come from, because I know I don't come from this white trash family. I know I'm not a part of this. I'm not like them at all. I stand up for what's right. I stand up for what I believe in. And they don't. And so it's time that I just stop partaking in their evil fruit and just be focusing on the Lord and what he will reveal to me throughout my own healing process. And so I'm just really grateful that he's got me this far and that I'm so wise and strong to be able to deal with all this stupid shit that only happens in movies. Like, I can't tell you how many people are like, wow, dude, the stuff that happens in your life is like stuff that I've only watched in movies. And it's like, yeah, dude, like, it would be really nice to have like a peaceful, like, normal people in my life, but like, people just do ridiculous shit. And then I don't even know how to, it's just stupid. My mom would fuck my man if she could. It's fucking crazy. And I predicted it a year before it even happened. I predicted that I told him, I said, hey, if you ever meet my mom, I'm kind of like worried about that because I feel like she's the kind of person that would like try to fuck you or take you from me. And I said it in a joking way. And here I am a year later, like actually like, wow, I am wise. I called that shit. Pat on the back for me. Good job, girl. Like, you saw it coming. Fucking shocker. Even though it really threw me through a fucking loop. I couldn't believe that happened. I could not believe that my mom would do that. But then again, it's Lynette, so why wouldn't she? Anyway, I really gotta get ready for work. I love you guys so much. It feels so good to, like, connect with you. And, I was thinking to myself, like, I only have 2,000 followers, that's nothing. And then I sat and said, dude, like, if there was 2,000 people outside my house right now, like, I would probably flip the fuck out. Like, that's so many people. And so the fact that, like, a ton of people follow my channel and give a crap about my opinion and what I say and can relate to certain things or learned about narcissism and felt some relief because I taught them what a narcissistic mom looks like or whatever, like all that stuff, that like feedback I get, like you guys are the best. I'm so grateful that God blessed me with brothers and sisters. Like, everybody is a brother and sister through God, and like the fact that like all of you are like my soul family through the Lord is like the best thing, because it's like so freeing that I do have a family and I don't have to partake in my blood family. Like, I can't do it anymore. I have to get back to who I really am, and I'm so tired of putting her on hold. I'm so tired of putting myself on the back burner and trying to people please, and I'm so tired of ignoring my feelings and my opinion. I'm so tired of it. So I'm gonna get my computer back from the computer person pretty soon and get my own place, and maybe I'll start creating some videos where I edit them and produce something like really nice for you guys, and we can all make each other's days a little brighter. So I really look forward to that, and I love you guys so much, and have a blessed rest of your day.